I help women succeed with the help of their deceased loved ones. So I wanted to come to you this week to talk about, as usual, how you can change your life, how you can shift it. We all have hard times in our lives. We always do. There's always something that we have to be working on, that it's important that um, we allow those periods to shift us and to bloom us into the version of who we're meant to be after it. It's so perfect though, because I'm doing this video during COVID, and it's this period right now that, even though, if I'm sorry, I have marker on my hand, if you may be having a hard time, and that this may be a hard time, but to allow yourself to deal with it and to understand that you're going to shift into a different version of yourself after this period. So it's only fitting that I wanted to come on here today to talk about the stories that we tell ourselves. So it's really important that we express what is happening in our lives, to ourselves, to others, to anything, or about anything. And so if you are experiencing a negative situation or negative problem in your life, it's really important to talk to someone, or to journal, or to do a video, and then for you to listen to it on the stories that you're saying about yourself and about that situation. There's something to me, I've recently learned that when you tell a story, it allows you to change it in your head. So it kind of gets, what I'm learning is that the ego is based on assumptions, or it's based on conclusions. So let's say, for instance, you say, wow, I don't like rainy days. It's always bad. That's a conclusion that your ego has created. Every time you get a rainy day, it's bad. So the thing is, though, is when you acknowledge that story and you say, I feel like rainy days are bad and that they can't be good, and to acknowledge that that's the story that you're telling yourself, then it's able to shift, and you're able to release that egoic synopsis, or the connection to rainy days and bad weather. So it's super important that we don't get stuck to a specific story, so that we can shift into a different person. Right now we have, the collective consciousness is expanding. It's raising vibration. So it's really important that we are releasing those limiting beliefs, releasing those stories that may be holding you back, or you may have held on to for your whole life, and allowing there to be an outlet for them, so that you can shift and change your life and the possibilities of it. So an example would be, again, the rainy days. So the question that I have is, what are the stories that are holding you back from your desires? What are the stories that you have held on to since years ago that no longer serve a purpose in your life, or are no longer of value to you? And what are the stories that are happening right now in your life that are not allowing you to see the true abundance of everything? Whether if that's health abundance, financial abundance, joy abundance, just everything. So what are the current beliefs that are holding you back from the abundance that you desire? So I really recommend to really sit down with those questions, allow to just come and bring up anything that you feel needs to be brought up. I know recently I've been doing a paper before I get on a call with someone of limited beliefs, and then I just write them out. Fears, I write them out. And every time I write them out or say them, it kind of just shifts it, kind of just changes it just a little bit. So write out those questions, see what just comes up organically when you ask those questions. Or then after that, write out limited beliefs and see what those beliefs that are limiting you, that society has created, or that whoever has created, that just needs to be released. And then the fears also. So it's I think the world, I think the collective consciousness, everything is asking us to step up into a better plane, to step up into a better vibration. And by us doing that, things will keep being lifted. The veil will be lifted. The things that have been hidden will be lifted. And we can start really be experiencing that new earth that we've always talked about, and that, has been stated. So asking those questions of what are the stories that you're saying that no longer serve you a purpose? What are the ones that were created years ago, decades ago, that need to be let go? Asking, what are some limiting beliefs that, no longer serve me? And then the fears. So it's super important that we do this. It's important work. And, future generations will thank you for us not being that same version of ourselves that we were 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And because that will allow expansion and growth for years to come. I just want to make sure that you know that I am going live at my Facebook group, Being Whole, later today at 7:15. So feel free to do that. If you are a member, if you're not, that's fine. Join and you'll be able to get the video even after the time. And then also, I am still doing my Fun Free and Fearless program. If you, there's only going to be a few more weeks of me offering that course. So if you are interested in enrolling, getting unlimited support from me and everything, please go and book a call. Let's talk about your life. Let's see where some holes are. Let's see where you can be bringing in even more fun, more freedom, more fearlessness, and really seeing and healing that's parts of you that were created that didn't allow you to have that, and may have had a judgment or have a judgment that you can't have those things because life is hard. But just because that we have ebbs and flows of life, it's still okay that we can still have fun, we can still have freedom, and we can still have live a fearless life. So I leave that with you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please hop on over to the Being Whole group so that you can watch that special video today. Take care. Bye. Many blessings.